This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link, be the maestro of your own home.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Price, service, selection, get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. Ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Boys and girls, maybe afternoon, maybe evening, whenever you're tuning in. Is it a good one? Is it a good one? I don't know. I don't know. Some of you out there aren't very happy. I'm not happy. I got to tell you, it is a morning where I sit and I wonder, did it happen again? Is the question. Did it happen again? And some of you out there are going, what's he talking about? Did it happen again? Did it happen again when Anquan Bolden is sitting there and you took Eddie Moore? And you were pissed, and I was livid. Did it happen again when Drew Brees was there and you took Jamar Fletcher? Did it happen again when Randy Moss was there and you went with John Avery? And I can go on and on and on if you want. I've got material to go forever because I've been covering the Dolphins forever, and I've been following them from the inception pretty much. So I know of a lot of mistakes, and I'm wondering, was this a mistake? And the reason why, listen, if you wanted a lineman, why not get Vega? And it's not hindsight. We talked about it. That was my third option. I would have taken Vega over Downs. I would have taken Bain, Vega, or Downs. Downs would have been my third guy. I like him, but I needed more Bain and I needed more Vega. And I told you I wanted Bain because I want my Bonacani, I want my Offerdahl, and I want my Zach Thomas again. Because Bain's going to be better than Brian Cox. He's going to be better than all the linebackers we've had except the first three that I just mentioned. I think he'll be right up there with those guys. So I didn't get my Bain. Okay, I need a guard badly. Why not get the most complete and polished guard in the draft? A mauler, a guy that has no weight issues, a guy that has no work ethic issues. A pure guard, you drafted a pure left tackle. So are you moving him to right or are you moving Patrick Paul to right? Is he going to be a swing tackle because he can't play because you have starters? Are you going to move him to guard? Is he going to be a guard for a year and then you're not going to bring back Austin and then you kick him out to the right? Is that what's going to happen? So is he going to play guard at 6'8" for a 6-foot quarterback? So for me, where I'm disappointed today is exactly that. I think both Vega and Bain are better players. We'll find out. Time will tell. Listen, I get it. There's a group of you Dolphin fans out there that would never criticize. You criticize after the fact. After things have failed, then you get on the bandwagon, but you really don't go out on a limb because you're afraid to have an opinion. So you'd rather go with the safe route. When it's great, you just pile on. When it's bad, you just pile on. You can't lose that way. I get that. But my job is to kind of assess what I think is a good move and a bad move. And right now, I have to say this is an extremely questionable move. Extremely questionable move. It's the only way I can look at it. The Chris Johnson kid can play. He's got all the skill set, everything. He's got no character issues, none of that. His only knock is that he played in a lesser conference and he's not a big corner. So his challenge will be the physicality is going to go up 2 notches for him because he didn't play in the SEC or the Big Ten or the ACC. So he played against lesser competition. So he's going to pass that competition and going up to the NFL. So the physicality of the NFL will be the challenge for Chris, but he can play. He's got all the skill sets, can play all over the place. So I understand the Chris Johnson move. Now, would he have been available at 30? I don't know. That one, I don't have that much of a problem at all with the Chris Johnson pick, to be quite honest. It's all right. He's got the skill set. So I'm not worried about that. The Caden Proctor one, yeah, I'm not big on taking guys that have any kind of questionable character. And I just don't throw around that weight issue stuff. He'll be fine, and you got to be on top of him and all that. And at 11, the Vega kid had no issues, and Bain definitely has no issues. So they fell in love with the numbers. He's a mammoth human being. There's no doubt about that. He's got athleticism. As I told you in last night's show, I just don't like players at 11 when you have guys that are quality from top to bottom and players. I might go the safe route better than taking the gamble. And then, if we get him focused, you know what I mean? Because the word is, look, he can move around. He's light on his feet for a big guy. He's got all the athleticism, but the dedication. And people worry about when he leaves the building. David Furones tweeted out that whole thing about when he was talking to Caden Proctor about what would he like about being drafted by the Dolphins. He said, no state taxes. Yeah. We know, dude. We understand that. That's probably not really should be your focus. That's probably not the answer you want to give. But whatever. And so I worry about that. So we'll see. Time will answer all, man. that's the beauty of all of this. Time will answer if the Proctor pick was a gamble. We'll see. We'll see. So it's all on the table now, and we'll find out what happens. But am I happy with this pick? No, because it just brings back memories of me sitting there going, damn, I wanted Anquan Boldin, not anymore. Anquan Boldin fell to you in the second round. Why didn't you take him? Drew Brees fell to you. Bain fell to you. You didn't take him. Okay, you want to protect the quarterback? No problem. Take Vega, man. Take Vega, plug and play that guard right away. You already have tackles. You really needed a true guard to step in. And this whole versatility shit that he's talking about, 4 positions and all that, you think you're going to play him center? And at 6'8", do you really want to play him at guard? Not really. You want to play him at tackle. He's got length. He's got size. His arm length isn't like extraordinary for his size, but it's solid. The kid can move. He can shuffle. I mean, he's got athleticism to him. There's no doubt about it. It's just motivation. We'll see. We shall see. But when I look, and from here on out, this is how I will measure Caden Proctor. I'm going to look at what Vega's doing for his career and what Bain is doing for his career, because those are the 2 picks. If you were dead set on protecting Malik, which I have no problem with, then take Vega. If you wanted to get a game-changing player on defense in the locker room, in the community, in your fan base, you take Bain. But they went with another guy. We will find out if John Eric Sullivan is the smartest guy in the room, because that's what he did last night. We'll find out. He said, no, I know these guys. You guys don't. We'll find out. Again, the Chris Johnson one, I'm not so freaked out about the Chris Johnson one as much, because I see the whole skill set and character and all that. It's just that he played in a lower level, but that doesn't mean anything. There's lots of guys that play in those kind of conferences, and they can transition over to the NFL. So that's not something that I'm going to hang my hat on and say I'm disappointed on the Chris Johnson pick. Whatever, dude, that's fine. But the Caden Proctor one is one that I'm going to question every day until I see him actually prove that he can be a really good player on a consistent basis. Because I believe Vega, and I certainly believe that Ruben Bain are going to be fantastic players. So here we go. Here you go. So anyway, some guy on Twitter just went out, because I guess he listened to the show last night, and he says, oh, Daryl Gardner was a monster. I'm like, yeah, when he wanted to be. He was a terrible pick. And he answers, you're crazy. He was a monster. Yeah, it's Jason Vanna. He's one of those fans that only like spins everything positive and waits till it's obvious till the end. And, of course, fucking clueless, because anybody that thinks that Daryl Gardner was a good pick, you're an idiot. You don't know shit. Anyway, it is what it is. That's kind of how it goes. And Daryl Gardner was a selection that everybody questioned with Jimmy Johnson. This is nothing new, folks. Okay, that we've been questioning picks. And this pick deserves to be questioned. Lots of picks have been questioned in the past. And guess what? A lot of times we were right. Okay? Most of the times that we question the picks, you know what? Now that I think about it, what was the much maligned pick by the media and the fans that the Dolphins made in the first or second round that everybody was against it, and the guy ended up becoming a hell of a player? Because I mentioned a bunch of them now that they all failed. Can you come up with that? Because we could come up with disappointed in Daryl Gardner because he wasn't a motivator. People were disappointed in Tua because of the injury history. I'm trying to remember. Cam Smith had questionable, and they drafted him, and there you go. I'm just wondering, which is the much maligned pick that we all hated, or media hated, fans hated, and he turned into Yatil Green? I laughed at Jimmy Johnson's face when he drafted Yatil Green. I laughed in his face. There was a press conference going on, and he said, "Oh, no more tears." And I went right there in the media room. People looked at me. We were in that big ass media room. I had a couple of people look at me. I don't know if Jimmy heard me in that, but I was kind of laughing because I covered the Canes and the Dolphins that year. I was going back and forth and all that. It was great covering the Canes in those days. I could go onto the field through the entire game if I felt like it. It was like that kind of access I used to have was so amazing. It's garbage now. Anyway, I'm trying to remember. Can you guys come up with one? Can you come up with nobody understands the question?
Somebody put Dan Marino, which he wasn't aligned by the thing, and somebody put Ted Ginn, but I mean Ginn worked out later because
but he didn't work out.
He didn't work out.
He was
here.
a terrible number 9 overall pick.
Yeah, as the
he's
pick.
Overall in his career, he's a horrible number 9 overall pick, but he did turn into a solid football player.
Yes.
He turned into a solid 4th round pick, not a number 9 overall. So I understand that, but do you remember one? Eddie Blake was questioned and he sucked. It's the opposite.
Somebody put it was the guard. Can't think of his name. I don't know which.
Rob Hunt. No, Rob Hunt wasn't. Rob Hunt turned into a hell of a player, but I don't remember people bitching and complaining about Rob Hunt because most people didn't know much about Rob Hunt. I'm trying to remember a guy that we all killed, and then he turned out to be great. Who was it? Who was it? Like the Marino thing was a couple of people in the draft or whatever, but it wasn't really. People were excited about Marino because, we needed a quarterback, so we didn't care. I remember the Dan Marino one. It wasn't like that. Like people were like, oh no, that was a couple of Howard something. I forgot the media members. He's the guy that's really popular for questioning the Dan Marino pick, but overall, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like, oh my God, people are saying, oh, it was a terrible pick or anything like that. It was at the back end of the first round. I'm talking about, tell me a guy, Deion Jordan was questioned. That was questioned. That wasn't a pick that people were on board. Nobody wanted Deion Jordan. Nobody locally was clamoring for Deion Jordan. When they took him, we were like, Deion Jordan? And he was not liked and he failed. Tim Bowens was you guys are not getting me here on this. You guys are not understanding. Okay. All right. Jawan James was not liked and it ended up being a mediocre pick. So it's again wasn't liked and turned into a hell of a pick. Who? And there's not a lot of them. But you know what's a lot of? We didn't like it and it failed. How do you like them apples? I can count 10 to 1 the amount of times we didn't like somebody that they drafted and he failed. In my hand, I can't even count 5 of them that we hated and they went on to have, like, it was a much maligned first round pick and we all of a sudden it exploded. You can't think about it. It's rare. It's rare. Vontae Davis, my brother, do you follow me? I ripped the Vontae Davis pick. I said he could play, but he has maturity issues. And I got booed by 2,000 Dolphin fans at Dolphin Stadium. And I had all the Dolphin executives standing behind me. Okay? I had the panel of Joe and Jimmy and Jim all frustrated because, you know, You're not supposed to be honest on draft day. You're supposed to just kiss ass and say, oh, well, they like him. They must know about him because, that's the regular line. So actually, the Vontae Davis pick, I actually ripped into the Vontae Davis pick because he had maturity issues. And guess what developed all throughout his career, sadly? Rest in peace, maturity issues. So you're wrong about that. Miles Deep, Andrew Van Ginkel's a 5th rounder, bro. And I loved Andrew Van Ginkel from the second he got drafted. I loved Andrew Van Ginkel. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a pick that we all hated or criticized, and he turned into a good player. That Eddie Moore turned into a good player. That Eddie Blake turned into a good player. That Jamar Fletcher turned into a good player. Who is that guy? That Ted Ginn turned into a good player. The guy that we all questioned, who turned into that good player? You got one? It's hard, bro. It's hard. Ronnie Brown was actually was accepted, but it was never looked at worthy. He was never, and guess what? He was never worthy of the number 2 pick. And Ronnie Brown is a fantastic human being. I got nothing but love for Ronnie Brown. Great person, heck of a player, not worth the number 2 pick. And a lot of people said that during then. And guess what? It turned out to be right. Some people even wanted Cadillac Williams over him. I remember that. Think about it. Holt says that guy doesn't exist. Think about it. Think about that. We could talk about all the guys that we were pissed off that they drafted, and they sucked. They sucked. How many can you count that we said they were going to suck, and it was a bad pick, it was a reach, and the guy turned into a stud? You can't even come up with 3, much less 1. So, for those of us like myself that look at Caden Proctor and say, I'd rather have Bain or Vega, we're going to measure it again. We're going to do it all over again. Okay? I wasn't big on the Tua pick. I went with it after. I didn't want Tua or Herbert. I wanted Tristan Wirfs. Lots of you didn't want Tua. Did it work out? It didn't work out. How many guys did we rip and they turned out to be great? How many? Practically none. Practically none that were taking the first or second round. High picks that we were like, we wanted them, we were there, and then they didn't take them. And you can't find the guy that we all hated or picked on or whatever, and he turned out to be a great player. It's kind of scary, isn't it? The truth is scary sometimes, right? That's why some of you that are, a little too emotional and soft, this is not the show for you. This ain't the show for you. Wasn't Reggie Roby considered a wasted pick when it happened? I don't even know what round it was, but it was a late round probably, and it was well worth it. But that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Great. I love the lighter side of it. Now, Jake Long was people wanted Matt Ryan over Jake Long. I get it, but Jake Long was a hell of a pick. He was a good pick, man. I'm sorry, but Tony Sperano ruined that. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't maligned, and he turned into a hell of a player. It was just the injury that ruined him because, Tony, rest in peace, but you don't play a talent like that in the fourth quarter of a preseason game on a rainy field with a baseball diamond in it. That was stupid. Yes, sir.
I'm going to read you a list of names.
Go ahead.
Jamar Fletcher.
Hated.
Vernon Carey. Ronnie Brown.
By the way, Vernon Carey was thought of as a reach at that point. Okay? So at that point, and he still turned into a solid player overall. But go ahead.
Ronnie Brown.
Right.
Jason Allen. Ted Ginn Jr. Jake Long. Vontae Davis. Jared Odrick. Mike Pouncey. Ryan Tannehill. Deion Jordan. Juwan James. Devontae Parker. Laramie Tunsil. Charles Harris. Minka Fitzpatrick. Christian Wilkins. Tua. Austin Jackson. Noah. Jalen Waddle.
People love the Minka pick. And again, it didn't work out only because we're idiots.
Jalen Phillips, Chop Robinson, Kenneth Grant, and then, of course, our first rounders this week. Since 2000, that is the list of every first round pick.
So for the people that tell you, you're an idiot, bro. You don't even want to give it a chance or whatever. Just give them my line that I gave you right now. How many guys did fans overall hate, and he turned out to be great? Just tell them just like that. How many of us, when fans were overwhelmingly hating the pick, the guy turned out to be great? I guess you people don't know anything. People didn't complain about Mike Pouncey, Lenny, back in the day. When they took Mike Pouncey, people were good with that pick. Yeah. The problem with Pouncey was after they re-signed him later in his career because of the neck, that was the stuff that people were worried about. And he still actually played all right. He played through that. Tough son of a bitch. The two Pounceys are wired. They're wired for that game, bro. They're wired for that game. Mike Pouncey and Marquise Pouncey, those sons of bitches they're made for football, bro. You can't have enough of those kind of people on your team. They can be any kind of position, but if they're wired like the Pounceys, that's kind of what you want, Not necessarily the brightest bulbs in the chandelier there with the Hernandez stuff, but as football players, they're as tough as they come, dude. Yeah, put them on the field.
I mean, I know Marquise
and
Mike were twins, but even
Jason and Travis. Yeah, man. We have what's it called? Didn't we? There's a kid that's coming out in a corner that his brother is also in the NFL too.
I mean, we took Ted Ginn and his whole family and didn't get that payback for it.
Yeah, I know. Whole family and everything. Why do people refuse to draft Canes players? No matter the year or GM, they play in the same stadium. Please draft Deontay Scott in the next round. I can't, Sweet Baby Ray, this is the kind of shit that is unexplainable. Unexplainable. By the way, we are here at Acura Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the amazing people out here. Got a service center that is second to none. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they do great work out here. So if you happen to own or lease a Acura vehicle, come on out here to 15601 Pines Boulevard. Get it serviced. They will take care of you. They are good people out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Troy Vincent was awesome, dude. He was great. I'm not sure what you're talking about, dude. Are you young? Like that other guy, Jason, he probably didn't even watch Darryl Gardner and doesn't even know that he was a mediocre player. Yeah. No, he was a great player. Shula screwed up, putting him to return, and he blew out his knee. And then he went to Philadelphia and had a marvelous career, dude. Troy Vincent was a great pick. Okay, we were pissed at Shula for putting him in the return game. That was the controversy at that time when he blew out his knee. But he Troy Vincent was a fantastic cornerback, dude. Awesome freaking cornerback. Yes, Miami drafted Zach Thomas in the 5th round, sir. Yes. Huh? Yeah. We drafted Offerdahl late, too. Offerdahl, look it up, out of Western Michigan or whatever the hell it was. I think he was like a 3rd rounder or some shit like that. Like Offerdahl wasn't a really, I don't think he was a high pick if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, dude. Yeah. I really wanted this guy badly, man. I really wanted Bain badly. But if they wanted line, I would have taken Vega. I think your mama's going to be a hell of a player, dude. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Arnaldo, being a Dolphins fan is so freaking hard. I'm telling you, bro. Well, why do you think this is why I kind of dialed back on the stuff with the Dolphins, because I get all excited and I get all the work done and I find out all the information, and then all they do is they break my heart constantly. And so it's just like, I'm done. That's why I told you guys that, we're going to talk plenty Dolphins, but I'm not going to go to the extremes that I used to, because they're losers. Until they start winning playoff games, then I'll start, sacrificing more time. But I'm not. I'm just not. If you're not going to do the things to make us proud. 2nd round, 50. It was Western Michigan, right? 2nd round, 52. All right. So, just crazy, man. It sucks being a Dolphins fan. Let's get to our 3A graphics. Sports calendar with the one and only Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. The Dolphins yesterday had their 2 first-round picks. They chose Caden Proctor, the Alabama offensive lineman, and San Diego State cornerback Chris Johnson with their 2nd pick in the 1st round. They moved up from the 30th to the 27th spot for Proctor. They moved down from the 11th to the 12th and acquired 2 fifth-round picks in the process. In football, Inter Miami back in action on Saturday at 7:30. They will host New England at New Stadium. Remember, take public transportation. Never drive to that stadium. That's a stupid move. Saturday at 7, Fort Lauderdale United continues their road trip. They were at Spokane to take on the Zephyrs. The Hawks last night in the NBA defeated the Knicks 109-108. They've got a 2-1 lead in the series. Knicks. The Raptors for the Cavs 126-104. The Cavs have a 2-1 series lead. I'm sorry, the Cavs have a 2-1 series lead. The Raptors, Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett each had 33 points in the win. The T-Wolves, they are leading 2-1 against the Nuggets. 113-96 was the victory. Tonight at 7, it's Celtics at Sixers, tied at 1. Lakers at Rockets. The Lakers are leading 2-0. Spurs at Blazers. That one's tied at 1. No Wemby because of the concussion. That is your 3A graphics sports calendar. Reach out to my guy, Alan Blanco, for custom printing and embroidery. 786-618-1443. All right. Oh, he's ready to go. Let's do it. Let's go with the one and only David Furones in our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is David Furones. How you feeling, my brother?
Honestly, feeling a little tired, but it's only day 1 of the draft, But late night, especially since they had the 2 picks going at 30, so it was still a rush in like the 11 o'clock hour to get that pick. The Sullivan press conference, get Chris Johnson on a Zoom after you already covered the first one, and you spent that whole hour in between the picks. working on that. Broke it down with Chris Perkins outside the facility, got back late, and now up looking at everything for day 2 and right back to it tonight and then tomorrow.
Yep, I'm with you there. So let me ask you something. What'd you think of the pick? Because for me, I don't like it. I'm not big on taking any kind of character risk at 11 when I have no character risk with Bain or Vega. Even Downs I would have accepted, but if you wanted to protect Malik, then take Vega, take the natural guard right away and plug him in right away. So for me, initially, I got to say I don't like this pick. And I hope that he doesn't have weight issues. And I hope that he has motivations to be the best professional. Because, that quote you put out there that, when you asked him, what would you like about being drafted by the Dolphins, that it's a no-tax state. Yeah, that's not really what I want to hear from the guy, to be quite honest, because a mature individual understands that all you got to do is go out and be a great player. The money comes anyways, dude. So it really doesn't matter. I doubt Fernando Mendoza is thinking about his taxes at all. I'm pretty sure Fernando Mendoza is thinking about being the best pro, the best quarterback, how he can be the best player he can, and that all that other stuff will take care of itself because he's grounded. He understands that all that stuff will take care of itself.
Let's clarify that quote from Caden Proctor too. So it was a question from Michelle Kaufman, who brings her Sports reporting class to the draft every year, and the question was about how much he's been to South Florida, what he knows about Florida, how often he's visited before this. He said his 30 visit was his first time ever in the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area. And then one thing that stood out to him was just speaking about Florida as a state was he did mention, obviously, he's going to be making money now. And he made some NIL money at Alabama. But now, that NFL money, first-round pick money, and he hopes to make more later on with a second contract, is no state income tax. So that's great. At the end of the day, guys are going to think about this stuff when it comes to where they're drafted because there's going to be a cut of whatever – they are slotted to make at that selection that goes to the government, goes to the state government or
not something you bring up in an initial press conference. You know what, dude? I'm old school. When I used to go out for an interview for a job, I didn't even talk money the first go around. You know that? But that's old school. That's old school. I don't know. Were you like that too, Sean? Right? Yeah, at first you talk about the job and that you want the job and that you're there for it, and you don't necessarily. I get it, dude. We're in a me society. I get it, my brother. I grew up in a we society, not in a me society. So it's different. I grew up in an actual neighborhood. Now we're all isolated and we don't even know our neighbors. So I understand that the world has changed and the views of people in the world have changed, unfortunately, but it's not the stuff you talk about in any kind of initial type of interview. That's just me, dude. I'm old school. I'm a little bit different. Yeah. I'm wired a little differently than the newer generation. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you, Mendoza will not be talking about taxes with people.
Yeah,
just won't, because he's got a different system around him. He's grounded differently. He knows the money's going to come, dude. It doesn't matter. He's not worried about that. He's worried about being a great player. And then everything else, the inflows come in, man, no matter what. But anyways, let's get back to the decision of drafting Caden Proctor. Your opinion on it. Did you like the move? Do you not like the move? Do you question it? Where do you stand on it?
I'll tell you, Big O, I was shocked. I was stunned when that was the pick, to be honest with you. I thought it was playing out perfectly for the Dolphins. First, there was the hiccup that, okay, the Chiefs went and took Mansour Delane. All right. You figured, maybe he's there, maybe he's not. But the way I had my board is I had kind of like a top 4 that I had for the Dolphins. at pick number 11, where you kind of just, especially knowing, all right, Fernando Mendoza is going to be one of the picks. Jeremiah Love's going to be one of the picks. You're going to have the top two edge rushers in David Bailey and Arvell Reese, depending on if you call Reese a linebacker or an edge rusher. Maui Noah might be the first lineman, but maybe someone else likes another one of the linemen. It turned out to be Fano. Depending on how many receivers go in that top group, Sonny Styles has got to go. So you start doing the math, and you're like, out of Caleb Downs was the number one player for me. I tweeted out my board for the Dolphins earlier Thursday, and I had Caleb Downs, not even thinking he'd be there, just saying, okay, if he is there, because he's a safety and everyone in the top 10 passes on him, you just take him because that's just a home run to get a player of that caliber, even at that position, at that spot. I had Ruben Bain next for a lot of the things we've mentioned ad nauseum on this program. I mean, one, being a Miami Hurricane, the fans are going to love it. I heard that at watch parties, people were chanting for Bain because he was there, not only at 11, but also at 12 when they traded back. You get the edge rusher that you need. He fits the 4-3 defense that you want to run under Jeff Hafley. He's a badass who would be great in the locker room. Now, maybe the short arm narrative ultimately got to them there. I had Maui Noah next, and he went to the Giants at the 10th pick. Okay, fine. But the way it was playing out, once you got to 9 and you had Bain, Maui Noah, and Downs there, I was like, good. The Dolphins are guaranteed to have one of these guys. Then it was Fano there at 9, right? So then
only difference between you and me was Vega. That I'd rather protect. I'd rather protect the kid. I'd rather get Vega over Downs. But if they took Downs, I wasn't gonna complain. By the way, no.
Oh yeah. No, because he was not expected to be there, but then he is all of a sudden. Sort of similar to because we have Will Manso, who's a Giants fan in our media workroom, and at number 5, Arvell Reese is suddenly there for them because because the Titans took Carnell Tate at 4, right? So then it's like, oh wow, well I'm there like checking with him. Well, you got to take Reese. You didn't expect to have Reese, but you got to take him. Similar to the Dolphins at 11. You don't expect to have Downs, but he's there. You kind of think you got to take him. So it developed where, they're going to have one of these guys guaranteed. Then, now they're going to have a decision to make with some of these guys. They trade back, and I'm there thinking, okay, it's because Downs and Bain, and then they're kind of saying, we'll take either one. Go ahead, Cowboys. Give us a couple extra picks for later. We could use all the draft capital we can get, all the players, all the shots at it we can take. Go ahead, you pick for us. We'll be the Chargers taking Justin Herbert after the Dolphins take Tua. We'll be the ones that take the second one because we could go either way on this one. And then I was shocked when so first they pass up on Downs, and then it's Bain is right there for the taking, and they don't grab him. But I get what they're trying to do. It's an emphasis on the offensive line, and I understand your point too. Especially if they really do want to start him off at guard, then you take the natural guard in Ioane. But I got to imagine.
Let me ask you something, because nobody mentioned it to him in the draft, in the press conference, and maybe you can do it tonight. You drafted a 6'8" guard for a 6-foot quarterback. Is that productive?
No, 6'8" is
by the way, he's short, just like Tua. And plenty of people were talking about that also. Hey, don't bring big guards in because Tua can't see over the line. Well, guess what? Neither can this guy. He's not much taller than Tua. He's like a half-inch taller than Tua overall. Yeah, he can move around and all that. But the idea for short quarterbacks are having passing lanes. And if you have to see over mammoth human beings. So you drafted a pure left tackle. You're not going to move Patrick Paul to right tackle because that would be a disaster. So if he doesn't make it at guard right away, your number 12 overall pick for 1 year becomes a swing tackle. Or you're going to put a mammoth guard at 6'8" in the Florida Heat and in front of a short quarterback. So I'm just telling you, there's a lot of things about this that don't make a lot of sense. All right. because now you're going to either habitually have to move him over to the right, and he has to learn everything now completely different than what he's used to. And you already have Austin Jackson there. Austin Jackson can play. Austin Jackson's problem is not that he can't play. Austin Jackson's only problem has been now that he has become injury prone. He wasn't even injury prone at USC. It's here now that it's happened to him, unfortunately, but he's turned into a heck of a player, and it's the weirdest thing. So please explain to me where the method and the madness of the Caden Proctor makes sense.
Yeah. Now let's get his height in order to, and yes, he is still very tall and obviously huge at 352 pounds. But it's, the official combine measurement was 6'6" and 5/8. So they got Patrick Paul.
Bro,
Yeah.
he's got cleats on. Yeah. He's got cleats on and a helmet. He's 6'8".
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right.
But Malik Willis will then also have cleats on it, but the helmet doesn't. All right. Anyway, now we're really nitpicking. But yeah, I mean Patrick Paul's still a little bit taller. Obviously, we have Proctor, who's more of a mammoth. So that's why I wonder, could it be him? And we don't have this answer yet. We'll have to see this offensive line up in practices, and we know. Personnel staff, coaches are very protective of this, and maybe they'll be transparent eventually and go ahead and tell us they like his positional versatility. They feel he could play 4 of the 5 positions. So I think they'll figure that part out. But
it was pretty funny. Oh, no, he can even play center. Yeah, dude, sure, he's going to play center. Sure. Yeah, sure. You're
it's 4 of the positions. The 2 tackles, 2 guards.
I mean, you know, what's he going to play in the guard position? Come on, dude.
Yeah.
God. You know.
But it's consistent with what a lot of people said, that he could play guard in the NFL. I think you just see a lot of these types of guards now, too.
Would you have rather had Bain or Vega over Proctor?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm clear that Bain would have been my choice there.
How about Vega?
And yes, if right now depends on their vision here, because if they truly see him as a guard,
dude, screw their vision. Their vision doesn't mean anything. I'm asking.
No, it does.
David Furones' vision. I'm asking David Furones' opinion.
No, I would have had Ioane first. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. On my board, he would have been first. It would have been like after those top guys and Delane, the board I mentioned. So we're talking about Downs, Bain, Maui Noah, Delane. Then I'd look for a trade down first, because now I have like a lot of guys that are in that next group for me, like that next tier. But yeah, I would have had Fano there, but he was not available. He was taken at 9, and Ioane there, right there. So yeah, a lot, and then maybe one of the top receivers as well, because you still have that whole. But I like going to the trenches first, then going to receiver at the beginning.
If you would have taken Yamama or Vega over Bain, I wasn't going to complain, dude. I wasn't
right. I remember that from you. Yeah,
because I understand you got to protect the kid, so I would have taken Vega. And the fact that the Ravens took him makes me feel like shit. Okay, because let's just go through this exercise. Have you noticed maybe over the last 20 years how many damn good guards the Ravens have drafted? You ever notice that? Okay, over the last 20 years, have you noticed how many damn good linebackers the Tampa Bay Bucks have drafted?
Yeah, they hit on those. Yeah, Levante David being one of them. Miami Northwestern.
And anything else? White? Anything else?
You go back to Derek Brooks too.
Yes, I mean you start talking about the last 30 years, but if you start even they hit on linebackers over there. They know they're linebackers, so they went after Bain. Baltimore Ravens know about running. They love running. They went and got their guy. You know what I'm saying? So I trust them over.
Yeah. The Ravens draft well in general. I think there's a lot of positions you could say.
Now I have the best question for you that you will have no answer for.
Oh, well, that was
the only guy that might find something might be Poupart. Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Oh, now it's a challenge.
Now, Yeah, it is. Proctor is a guy that people don't like. Cam Smith's a guy that people don't like. Eddie Blake's a guy that people don't like. Jamar Fletcher's the guy that people don't like. Eddie Moore's the guy that people don't like. I can go on and talk about Tua's the guy that people don't like. You know, when they drafted him, I'm on record saying that's not a good pick because he's an injury-prone player. He can pass. Okay, there's no doubt he's a great passer, but he's injury-prone, and so he was much maligned. We have maligned players for decades now. You name me 3 players. We couldn't even come up with one. You name me 3 players that the community, the media killed when they were drafted, and they ended up to be studs in the first or second round. High picks. Tell me.
First or second round.
When you drafted Eddie Moore, I wanted Anquan Bolden, and we all did.
Yeah.
We all did. Okay? You could go think about it. All the guys that get picked on, they all failed.
I'm actually opening up a list of Dolphins draft picks right now.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You won't find it.
Yeah, it's going to go down that road.
The fans and the media are better than Dolphin front offices. Shula all the way through, baby. All the way through.
Yeah, you're saying every time the Dolphins fan base has been largely against a pick, the fan base has been correct in that assessment.
My brother, forgive my French, it's about fucking 99%.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's your take on Ted Ginn?
We didn't like him.
Yeah, definitely the fan base did not like. He made a lengthy career for himself. Had a lot of drops.
He's a bust as the number 9 overall pick.
Yeah,
He was a 4th round pick. Excellent pick. Excellent pick because he turned into a terrific professional for the rest of his career, but not a number 9 overall pick.
Right.
And he was.
And it took him some time. Yeah, those early years, the drops were killer.
Fans in general didn't think Ronnie Brown was worthy of the number 2 overall pick. They were right. They were right.
I remember it felt like a reach.
It did. It was a reach. It was a reach, and the fans were right.
Well, and now we know what we do about running backs and the value where it was different. It was viewed differently in 2004.
Bro, Yatil Green, we were ripping fucking Jimmy Johnson for taking the often injured Yatil Green.
Yeah.
And he stood there in his stupid little press conference pointing at, no more hamstrings, no more pulled, no more this.
No.
And guess what? It continued anyway, Jimmy, because you're an idiot.
So
it doesn't matter. Dude, it's the same guy that passed up on Randy Moss for John Avery. We killed him for John Avery for passing up on Randy Moss. Not only that, Jimmy's so fucking ignorant that at 19, when he went down to 27 to pick John Avery, at 19 is where he could have picked Randy Moss. He goes, no, even if he was there, I would have still taken Vonnie Holiday, which, by the way, turned out to be a good player.
Mm-hmm.
So at least he would have picked a good player. He didn't end up picking a good player. He picked up John Avery because he moved down instead. Because, of course, he was the smartest guy in the room. And to me, that's what I labeled that draft last night. John Eric Sullivan made the draft that said, I'm the smartest guy in the room or I'm the dumbest guy in the room. Because he went and picked 2 guys that nobody expected. So if they turn out to be great players, we're all going to look like idiots and he's going to look like a genius. But if they don't turn out well, we're all going to look like geniuses and he's going to look like an idiot. And guess what? When it comes to the Caden Proctor pick, the chances are slim against him right now. Because if history is anything of what it's like, the fans and the media usually are right.
Here's the risk that John Eric Sullivan took. Obviously, he took a huge risk here, but it's not only
risk.
Yeah, it's not only that whether Caden Proctor is good or not, because he could nail this pick. Caden Proctor could be a great player who maybe otherwise would have been someone's really nice pick at the end of the first round, early in the second round. It's now it will forever be compared, the careers of Caden Proctor in this pick and Caleb Downs and what he does with the Cowboys, and Ruben Bain and what he does, now highly motivated.
And Vega.
And Vega too, yeah.
I'm going to judge him by Vega. Dude, I got to judge Vega. You know why?
Yeah,
they were dead set.
That'll be a direct
they were dead set on protecting Malik. And you know what? I respect that. I've respected that all offseason about protecting Malik. Okay? Even though I'm not a Malik guy, but if we're going to find out about Malik, you got to protect him. I would have taken Vega.
But here's why it's different than Vega Ioane is if they view him, I was going to finish this point earlier, as the tackle, right tackle of the future, then it's different. So they say positional versatility right now. I mean, maybe the plan is, and we don't have this yet, is Proctor at right tackle, and then Austin Jackson moves inside the guard, which he has done before. He's even played left guard. It's also a possibility that you put Jonas Avainaya back on the side that he was more comfortable with at Arizona in college. On the right side, he played right guard, right tackle, and it was the previous regime. Granted, Bobby Slowick is still there, so him notwithstanding, but maybe he viewed it differently, and maybe he wants to change it now too, is if you had the previous regime going with him at left guard, now it's an option to move him over to right guard. Maybe he's competing with the new free agent from the Chargers they picked up, Jamari Salyer. Maybe it's Austin Jackson at left guard with Proctor at right tackle. Maybe it's Proctor at right guard with Jackson staying at right tackle as he's on maybe his last legs of his last chance with the Dolphins, Austin Jackson. There's different ways it could go. So I agree with you on it'll be compared to Ioane, but it depends on if they view Proctor as the tackle prospect, because then it's different because Ioane is a straight up guard.
Either way, dude, Proctor has to kick ass, period.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what. If he kicks ass at guard, I'm fine with it. If he kicks ass at tackle, I'm fine with it. What I don't want to hear is struggles. I don't want to hear any weight problems. I don't want to hear about motivation issues. If I hear about any of that stuff, then, it is what it is. But it's just interesting that the history of the Miami Dolphins fans and the media compared to the team, and when they are collectively against the pick, they usually end up being the right ones. That's some scary shit, dude.
Yeah, that is. That's across different regimes too. I was going to mention this is a new regime.
From
Shula, at least start off giving them the benefit of the doubt, but it's a lot of and smart football people too.
From Shula till now.
Yeah.
Jimmy did it. Wanstead did it. Saban did. Everybody's done it at one point or another. They just do it, bro. And Saban did it. He screwed up a bunch of times because, he was Mr. College Football, and I just came there and I know everybody. And he reached for a bunch of people, dude. That defensive lineman, what was the guy's name that had the sports hernia? First round pick. That was a waste of a pick. You
said who took Saban took?
Saban took him. He had a sports hernia. I forgot the guy's name.
That's not Jared Odrick, is it?
No, but that wasn't a great pick either.
What was the deal?
And it was a terrible sack dance on top of all of
that.
Well,
Jason Allen, the DB, was one of the Saban picks.
Oh my God, that was another stupid ass pick by him. Mm-hmm. He picked a low IQ safety. That's not smart.
Low IQ is not smart. Correct.
No. I think if you want safeties have to be extremely intelligent, bro. Like extremely. They have to know everybody's position, so they know where everybody's at. They have to have a kind of memory, and they've got to be able to know the passers and their habits and everything. Everyone. They are a quarterback back there, is what they are. They're like the catcher in a baseball team.
Oh wait,
they've got to know everything.
Are you talking about Matt Roth, the 05?
Another bad pick. That was another bad pick. No,
that's not who you're talking about. Huh?
Sterling or Mitchell or Mitch or God, what's his name? You have the drafts there, don't you?
Yeah, but
first or second round. There was only a couple drafts he had.
Well, that Saban took? Because
Yeah,
all right, 06 it was Jason Allen, and then they didn't have a second. It was third round Derek Hagan, the wide receiver.
Oh God, that's another one. That guy, all he did was drop passes at Oregon, and he still drafted him, the idiot. I was at the Senior Bowl, and I was doing actually the broadcast of the Senior Bowl. Philip Merling.
Philip Merling.
Wait, no, that was Parcells. Philip Merling.
Parcells took Merling, yeah.
Merling. Philip Merling was Parcells.
Philip Merling.
Another guy. Yeah, bro. It was just like,
Oh, didn't he have that pick six in the game against the Jets? That was that him that against Brett Favre?
Hey, Paul Langford had an interception against Kansas City in the playoffs. Didn't make Paul Langford a good player. He sucked.
Oh yeah. No, I just thought of that moment, but yeah, it got
I know. But the sun shines on every dog's ass every once in a while.
Yeah.
And the Langford was actually a steal of a pick in the third round, actually out of Hampton. That's actually one of our good picks. He had a long career in the NFL, dude. Actually, out of third round. But anyway, it's just that's an article you can write, bro. That's an article you can write.
The history of the Dolphins fans and media
being more right about high picks than Dolphin front offices from Shula till maybe now leading up to the Proctor pick that a lot of people have much maligned.
Yeah.
So
like I said,
you can't come up with players that people hated and they turned out great. You can't come up with it. That's some scary shit, dude. That's some scary shit.
And like I was saying, now because you took that risk, it's compared to Downs and Bain and Ioane, where if they take any of those guys, no one's gonna. And Caden Proctor becomes the greatest All-Pro of all time. No one's even comparing it. It's just, whoever took Proctor later on. They made a hell of a pick. I'll grab the steal. But yeah, now it will be compared that way because those were the obvious picks to make. So it's just the way it goes. It's what the life you lead, what you take on, the responsibility you take on in that position.
You got it. Some guy says King Jasper, to JJ's credit, he killed it on defensive players. Shit, the bet on offense. You can't do half a job, my brother. And you can't treat Marino like shit by taking away his audibles and taking away his all-pro receiver. So Jimmy Johnson was a failure. And by the way, the playoff games were an embarrassment, one after another. And Jimmy Johnson owns the biggest embarrassment in Dolphin history, 62-7, Marino's last game. Plus, the coward took a 60-second press conference, stuck his tail between his legs, and didn't answer one question. Mike Vrabel has more balls than Jimmy Johnson. Anyway, we call shit like it is here. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Johnson was not that good. Not here. Oh, and by the way, he left you Wanstead. That's like Leonard Hamilton leaving you Perry Clark. I want to punch you in the face when I'm done. That's what I want to do to Jimmy Johnson and to Leonard Hamilton. I want to punch you in the face for leaving me those two guys. Anyway.
Man.
Yeah. I'm a South Florida sports encyclopedia, buddy. I don't forget anything. I don't forget anything. I know what happened. I know what's happened in this town for 60 years, So yeah, it's
so since before you were born, Big O?
I'll be 60 in October. So I'm just saying, I'm kind of,
You don't look at one bit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it's funny. I've loved the Dolphins forever, and I should look like 120 by now. All right. So what are we saying overall about today? What do you think happens? Because I mean, after last night, I can't predict any. By the way, on the Chris Johnson front,
we haven't talked about him.
I don't have a problem with him. He, from everything that I've been told, the kid is an outstanding player. There's only one knock on him, and that's size, and that he's only 193, 195 pounds. He's not a big corner, so will he struggle against bigger receivers and physical receivers? He'll tackle, and he's a good tackler. He'll take it on, but He's now going up to the NFL level, that where he played was 2 levels under because he didn't face SEC and ACC and Big Ten and stuff like that. So the Chris Johnson one, I really don't have that much of a problem with it, to be quite honest, because he could end up as a nickel, he could end up as an outside guy, but either way, you need all that help. And he has great hips. The kid can move around, can cover. I don't have a problem with that one as much as I do with the Proctor one, actually.
Yeah. I mean, his combine was incredible. 17 reps on the bench press for a corner who is running 4.4.
Small corner.
Yeah. Right. Small corner. So that shows he's strong, physical. The 6 feet height, then that's where maybe taller receivers can go up and get a ball over him. So that's the concern. But you can play him on the boundary or in the nickel. And I think the nickel will be very important in this defense, where, I mean, the Dolphins the coaching staff is even dedicating a specific nickel coach, whereas before maybe they'll just get thrown onto the secondary DB's coach, a cornerback's coach. But no, they have a specific nickels coach. So that shows you just how important that position will be in this defense. I mean, you mentioned earlier that he was a surprise, but I didn't think so. Like, a lot of people had him there. I mocked him at one point there, but then Perk and I actually switched the 11th pick because of the Bengals-Giants trade in our final mock draft. So then instead of it being Maui Noah there, it was Delane. And then I had the later pick and I had Chris Johnson. But since we went corner the first time, we couldn't go corner again. So I had to change that pick. But he's who I originally thought the Dolphins were going to take with that second.
The only thing you could question, and we will never know that until, time goes on, is that they traded the 3rd rounder to move up 3 spots. And would he have been there at 30? But they must have gotten a whiff of what was going on. I'll give you an example to back up the GM Sully on this one. You know what happened at 11? That there was a couple of teams that wanted to trade for Downs, and the Dallas Cowboys knew that there was another team calling the Dolphins for Downs. So that's why they gave up the 2 fifth rounders to move up 1 spot. That's a lot, actually, to give up. And that's because there was competition. There was another team trying to move up to get the same player. So this could have been the same thing going on to the Dolphins, and a couple picks later, somebody else is trying to move up to get Chris at the same time that they are. So to me, I don't really care. As long as Chris Johnson turns out to be a good player, then you made the right move overall. If he doesn't, the fact that you gave up the 3rd rounder, that'll be the criticism. It's not that he was a reach at that point, because he's that's where he was supposed to go. Proctor is considered more of a reach at this point when you have better quality people and players right in front of him. So I can understand questioning this one. The Chris Johnson one, I'm fine with it, actually. I'm all right, man. You know what I mean? I understand. This is not the deepest of drafts, and that's why the 2nd corner went at number 27, dude.
Yeah,
that tells you that this is not a great corner draft as it is.
Yeah, he's a 2nd corner when a lot of people thought it would be Jamad McCoy, but then the injury concerns really surfaced with him. So that
butt plugs, bro. Butt plugs. They scare people.
God,
I told you.
But also something you mentioned on Proctor there. Now I wonder, because obviously there's definitely competition there. Another team was trying to move in. So if another team was trying to move up a few spots, I'm guessing they were also offering more than 2 fifth rounders like the Cowboys. Would that have been a better deal to take, considering Proctor, if he's your guy, is probably still going to be there a few picks later? Maybe they had some intel that other teams liked him just as much, but
there was a run on tackles. There was a run on tackles. So he wasn't going to be there. He wasn't going to be there.
Okay. And do you think one of the other teams was as high on Proctor?
Yeah. By the time you get to 30, you wouldn't have gotten Proctor.
Not 30. But I mean,
thought Proctor was a late 1st rounder myself, actually. But whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought originally. But I'm not talking about 30, because now obviously we have to adjust to what really happened. But
I see.
I'm talking about if it's like I don't know who the other teams would have been, but if it was like Detroit or someone who did take a tackle, who was looking to I don't know if they wanted Downs or not, but if one of the other teams, whoever it was that was trying to get up there, was offering more in return, and if you still could have gotten Proctor moving down to a different spot, that's not 30, but it's somewhere in between. I wonder, because I think Monroe Freeling really was the Panthers guy at 19. So it's just interesting. Maybe they could have gotten more from someone else, and it would have been the same guy, but at a lower pick than 12, than just moving down one spot. I just wonder.
Were you impressed with anything outside of the Dolphins yesterday?
Just like league wide?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Vrabel's press conference before the draft?
Oh, man, you know what? I mean, I just saw that he did one, but I was so locked in because it was right when things were about to start. So I actually have to check.
What a disaster, bro. Just a disaster.
Was it a disaster?
There's a 3-minute video you can go watch. It's everywhere that he just talks about it. And
about the he's got to make better decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
He basically threw Rossini right under the bus.
Oof.
Yeah, he screwed her again. In other words.
Oh my.
Yeah, this was just another type of sex, but it was, it wasn't physical. This one was a psychological screw, overall. So she ended up erasing her IG and her X account. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, I did see at least the X account was deactivated.
I hate to say this, but I thought the Jets actually did well.
I mean, I'm looking at the teams who had 2 picks.
They had 3. They had 3.
Right. Oh, yeah, because then they moved in again. So they got 2 targets, pass catching targets, in Sadiq and Omar Cooper. A lot of people thought Omar Cooper was going to go 16. They got Sadiq at 16, and then they still got Cooper later on.
And they got Taylor's kid too, right?
While getting David Bailey.
No, they got Jason Taylor's kid at tight end also. So
right, and they have Mason Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to have, which is super smart for any quarterback. Give them 2 tight ends.
They'll be set there.
High percentage, and they're both athletic and can move around. I love that, dude. I think any quarterback that has 2 impact tight ends, that is a super weapon for them to have, dude. Super weapon. Love it.
How about the Cowboys grabbing Caleb Downs at safety at 11, moving up just 1 spot and having him fall there. And then now, I don't know if Malachi Lawrence should have gone here, but they got an edge rusher there at 23. So clearly they liked him more than some of the other edge rushers out there. The Browns, they got Fano and they got a receiver in KC Concepcion. So
they got to protect Shador, man. I mean, it's. If you want your quarterback to survive, you got to protect his ass, dude. So I get it.
We gave him a target to throw to.
All right, what do you got planned today, so folks can check you out at the Sentinel?
Yeah, I'm about to throw up a story on what day 2 could look like, but everything from day 1. The 2 picks have it all covered up there. I also wrote a column on the impact of Fernando Mendoza as a Hispanic, Cuban American quarterback from South Florida, being the number 1 pick. That's pretty significant. So I made my column.
I admit, I got emotional yesterday seeing that.
Yeah.
I got emotional, bro, because I'm Cuban, and seeing him there with his whole family, and then to have a Cuban American kid be the number 1 pick in the draft, starting quarterback in the NFL,
came out of nowhere. No one saw this when he was coming up from
I know, but I got a little pride yesterday for that. That was I'm not a Raiders fan, but I gotta say I won't be rooting against the Raiders unless they play the Dolphins. Yeah. That's about it. There'll be a little bit of me that will be rooting for the Raiders now because a Miami kid, a Cuban American kid, dude, a guy that's just like you and me is leading an NFL team.
Ese es uno de los nuestros.
Yeah, man, I took a little pride in that yesterday.
Yeah. Even though he kicked our Canes' ass in the championship game,
that
didn't kick their ass, but I mean, he made the huge play that turned it.
If our team played smarter, we would have won that game. They were the more talented team, But unfortunately, got to play.
They didn't give up a block punt.
They weren't the more talented team. They were the more disciplined and smarter team.
Yeah,
that's all.
And made the play at the end. Made the play at the end too, because it came down to that too.
Yeah, go look at the draft. You're going to see more players drafted than Indiana players, and they're
Oh,
probably
yeah.
and more players will make an impact out of this class than Indiana players when it's all said and done. So, I don't have a problem with that part. You know what I'm saying? But I took a little pride in it yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. I did too.
What do you got, Sean?
I was going to ask, did you see I forgot which one. I was watching NFL Network, and the highlights of one of the defensive ends was sacking Fernando Mendoza in Cal.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't even
not in Indiana, in Cal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miami pounded his ass at Cal. Yeah. Well, it depends on the talent that's around you and the coach. You know what I'm saying? That's why we had that conversation a couple weeks ago that the draft won't matter if Sully and Half don't matter. If Sully and Half aren't the dudes, the talent goes to waste. You know what I'm saying? So Sully and Half have to be the guys. Not only that. So if Proctor's going to be a player, that's because Sully and Half have created the environment for him to be a player.
Yeah, that's fair. It's what came first, chicken or the egg? Is it the guys making the picks? Is it the players, the collection of them that they draft? So yeah, I mean, it all comes together.
Yeah. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Enjoy yourself tonight, my brother. It should be another long night for both of us, by the way, because I'll be on live after the second and live after the third. So,
all right, yeah, let's see what they do. Edge rusher, wide receiver, get some more players.
Lineman, another
lineman could be.
Yeah, you got right? No, not could be. Go get another. I said you better have 2 linemen in the first 3 rounds. You got one. Okay. You better go get another one in the second and third rounds.
I'm with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Hey, don't be surprised if one of those day 3 or one of those third round picks is a quarterback too.
Okay. All right.
I mean, Packers would do that, draft another quarterback, maybe the 4th round instead, since they swapped a third for a 4th. So,
what'd you think of Ty Simpson going to the Rams? I thought if you're gonna go somewhere, if you go to Arizona, Ty Simpson is dead in the water because he's not ready to go, and they're gonna throw him to the wolves right away.
Mm-hmm.
Now he goes to a place where he probably will sit for 2 years because I think Matt Stafford has 2 years left in him. So now he gets to learn from that guy for 2 more years. And then more people should do what Green Bay does, bro. They should. Yeah. They should do what I used to see in the old days. Draft your quarterback, groom him, get him ready, and not throw him to the wolves right away on a bad team. That's terrible, dude. That's terrible. You know what I'm saying? So I like this. He gets to learn, and he's part of a great organization. So whenever he does start, he's going to start on a competent team around him. That gives Ty Simpson or any quarterback for the Green Bay Packers an opportunity to succeed because the people around you are competent, and they have provided the platform for you to all you have to do is do your job because everyone else is going to do theirs. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, that'll be great for Ty Simpson. I was shocked that he went 13th, but I also I couldn't really react to it. I was just there writing on Caden Proctor, who I was not prepared for. I was most prepared for the 2 guys. I had great pre-writes for if it's Ruben Bain and Francis Mawinoa, and then I was getting my Caleb Downs one ready when I saw he was there, and then I had to just scrap it all and write Caden Proctor.
You know, a buddy of mine called me and he goes, "The Rams are stupid." And I go, "No, they're not." And he goes, "What the hell are you talking about, bro? Why would you take that guy so early?" And I go look at the history of the last few years in the later rounds. And then he called me back. He goes, "You son of a bitch. Go look at it. Go look at their roster. They're loaded with third-day picks. Loaded. They're loaded with guys in the second day. They hit later on in the draft. They're really good in the later rounds of the draft, actually. You go look at their starting running back, their starting wide receiver, their starting safety. All those guys were picked in the third day, dude. All of them. And it's just, it's crazy how much they find later on So in the Rams' eyes, they're like, yo, man, we're good at drafting here. We find like Seattle, they find shit late. All right, let's invest in our quarterback now. We get the 5th year on him. We give him time to groom and develop, all that kind of shit. Makes a lot of sense, dude. Makes a lot of sense in their world. It makes sense because they're really good in the back end of the draft. And when you are, they are. They're great, dude. They're great.
Huge advantage.
Yeah, huge advantage. All right, make sure you catch his work at the Sun Sentinel this weekend. David, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Have a good weekend.
You got it. Welt and Rayom, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, 954-966-4646. The consultation is completely free. They've been a proud sponsor of ours every single day. We've been on this platform for over 6 years. We love them, and you will love it because lots of our listeners have called and used them over the years on the west coast of Florida, here on the east coast, in central Florida. Give them a ring. They have their own adjusters. So if you have any damage to your car, home, a business, never call the insurance company. Never let them call the insurance company on your behalf. You call them, you explain your situation, they send over their adjusters, they assess the damage, and then they attack the insurance company on your behalf. The only thing you do is pick up a check in their office. I think you can do that. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Fin fan, Deion Sanders, 6 foot, Darrelle Revis, 5'11", Rod Woodson, 5'11", miss me with the height, fear, can he play? Yeah, exactly. You got it right. He can play. Kid can play. The Chris Johnson kid can play. The question is, can he play at this level? And the physicality goes to another level at this level, and that's where his test will be. Athletically, the mobility, the agility, it's all there, dude. He's a dog, a good dog. When I mean, like, he's a baller. You know what I mean? Chris Johnson's good, bro. I don't have that big a problem with that one. The only challenge with him is going to be the physicality part, and we'll soon find out about that. He's a very good tackler overall. No, the kid's a good football player, man. Good football player. I don't have a problem with the Chris Johnson pick that much. I really don't. The only thing you can question is maybe moving up 3 spots and giving up a late 3rd rounder. But again, somebody might have been competing with them and they know it, and there might have been 2 people bidding for that position, like they did with the Cowboys. And whoever was the other team that wanted to move up, they weren't offering more than 2 5th rounders, obviously. So they gave it to the Cowboys for 1 spot. And I thought that was a G move by John Eric Sullivan. When he went down from 11 to 12 and got 2 5th rounders, I was like, I like this guy. And then he did the Caden Proctor move, and then I'm like, oh, God. Oh. You know? But that is the most screwed up thing. Fans and media, when they have hated a pick, they have been right practically every single time. You don't want to be a 1st, 2nd round pick and the Dolphin fan and media dislikes the pick. You don't want to. It's not gonna end well for you. So let's hope that Caden Proctor changes the history, because the history is not good. Hey, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, man. Come on, man. We got a couple hundred people watching, only 75 likes. Remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Oh, I like the positional pick. We can argue the player, but I respect the philosophy. Inside out, I see him at left guard and Jonah moving to right guard. We have a couple of maulers on the left side. All right. I just have a problem with a 6'8" guard. for a short quarterback. That's tough. I would have liked Vega. That's all. If you're going to take a lineman, then take Vega. If you're not going to take Bain, take Vega. This one, I got a question. Adam Pink, sir. Thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. I have some friends who are Bucks fans. They think they got the next Derek Brooks in Reuben Bain. I'm having flashbacks to when Jimmy Johnson passed on Randy Moss for John Avery. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Stephen Baker. Thank you, and Adam Pinkser. Oscar Cabrera. Thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Same hamster wheel for the past 40 years. Proctor's overrated. Yep. Sucks, man. Absolutely sucks. Let's hope the kid rocks it out. Sweet baby Ray, thank you for the love on Cash App. He says, please bring Greer back. Oh, man. All right. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. We always appreciate it. We don't mind the super chats, but, YouTube keeps 30%. So that's why we encourage Cash App or Venmo. Great way to support us. And we always appreciate that. Dog Musk, thank you for the love on the super chat. Appreciate it. Were there any other super chats that I missed? Let's see here. Alan is one also. Alan, thank you, sir. Alan Nilano, appreciate you with the super chat. Thank you. And Dog Musk, you got there? Let me see. All right. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Can you bring those up? Because I didn't see those. Okay. Okay. Before we went live. Wow. Thank you. Thank you out there. Gus 1388. You know what would be so Dolphins? Sully ends up being a bad GM and half a great coach. No progress, just stuck in the middle with you. Steeler wheels. Yeah, that would be so screwed up. We can't have that, bro. We really need Sullivan to be a stud. We need the GM first and foremost. Without the GM, we're screwed. So, yeah. Yeah, Michael G. Winslow, I'm sorry, dude. Big O is the same hamster wheel. What a bum. I know, right? I know. But thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm always so wrong on everything. I know, I get it. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you for the love on the super chat. So glad I was asleep at 9:30 yesterday. Oh, man. Let's see what we got here on the chat board. Mr. Spock, too many mother effers with this pick at 12. Why didn't the Finns go with a high character, high motor guy that was a sure thing as a day one starter? Sully better hope it pans out or else. Yeah. No, you're right. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Maybe this kid comes in and kicks some ass and wants to be a great pro. That's what we got to hope for, man. That's what we got to hope for. We need it badly. That's the worst part. Rosendo says it comes down to if Proctor is committed to being great, he has the highest ceiling of all the linemen in the draft this year. If he can keep his playing weight at 330, 345, I believe he can be an all-pro. Wow, we're going from that to all-pro. I like it. Josie says Jermaine Proctor is a dumb pick. How so? He's asking. I wouldn't call it a dumb pick. I'd call it a risky pick. Whereas I don't believe Bain or Vega are risky picks at all. That's what it is. And at 11, it's like that guy said, just take the strong character guy, not the guy that's had weight issues and motivational issues and all that. And Sully kind of, I can't hold it against the guy because he's had some weight issues. And yeah, bro, I've heard about that kind of stuff, and that's not fun. That's not the stuff that I like to hear about. I don't like to hear about the weight issues, you know? By the way, All Year Cooling and Plumbing, they are number one in Florida. Over 350,000 satisfied customers. Go to allyearcooling.com so you can get yourself a free estimate. Give them a ring at 888-204-5554. They are serving Homestead to Vero Beach, and we've got offices now in Naples. Got a lot of listeners over on the West Coast. A bunch of them called Welton Rayom when we had the storms. Well, if you need some help with AC or plumbing, please call our friends at All Year Cooling. They're open 7 days a week for service, same-day installations, financing available, extended warranties, free repair services. They are Florida's number one AC and plumbing service out there. Tell them that Big O sent you. 888-204-5554. All right. I hope this Proctor kid turns out to be a dude, but it was a head-scratching pick, says Orizi. Yeah, that's what it is, a head-scratching pick. Yep. Khalid says, you can talk about the history of the Dolphins when Sullivan is in first year. You have no history to go off on. I have all the history. The point is, when the fans hated Shula's pick, they were right. When the fans hated Jimmy Johnson's pick, they were right. When they hated Wanstead or Chris Greer's pick or Saban's pick, they were right. What can I tell you? What was that corner that Saban drafted like in the third or fourth, or Travis something? And people were picking on him because he was slow and all that. And he ended up, and that was a middle round pick. Travis something. And he sucked. Sucked. And people didn't think that Ronnie Brown was worth the second overall pick. And guess what? They were right. They were right. So the history, and John Eric Sullivan is not proven more than Jimmy Johnson, more than Bill Parcells, or more than Don Shula. And guess what? The fans were right against all of those guys. So, listen, man, I understand Joe fan out there that never wants to take any kind of a negative stance because it's too early and they're worried about it. You're the same people that last year during this time I told you, hey, a shitty season's coming up. And you were like, no, don't say that. That's wrong. And guess what happened? A shitty season. So we do have the history. What you don't want, if you're a general manager of the Miami Dolphins, you don't want the fans and the media to disagree with your pick. That doesn't end well with you. Okay? That's the history. The history is the fans and the media for these high picks are usually right than wrong. Travis Daniels. And they were ripping him because he was too slow and this and that. And guess what? That's exactly what was his problem. He ended up being a mediocre player. That's it. So, let's see what else. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. This is the process. We still have 11 picks and UDFAs to add to the roster. Hopefully they can develop these guys initially. I was happy, but I can see where they're going with this. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope that they know what they're doing, and let's hope that Caden Proctor becomes the surprise of the draft. But it's not a good thing that the fan base is already against your pick, especially the Reuben Bain stuff. You know, and by the way, if they would have taken Vega, some of you would have been kind of pissed. I wouldn't have, because I like the Vega kid, and that's cool. Big O, a shittier season is upcoming. Well, that is true, because this roster is absolutely horrible. Yeah. Brian says, trying to make sense of the Proctor. I'm guessing Sully wanted a future right tackle as opposed to drafting Vega straight up guard. Yes, no doubt. Yeah. The only thing is, What happens if Austin Jackson has a great year and doesn't get injured? You just going to let him walk out the door like that? Damn, I don't know. Austin Jackson can play, man. I just hope he has I'm hoping he has a healthy season, man. He deserves it. He's a good dude on top of all of that. Real pro. He works hard. That's a guy that's so easy to root for, man. He really is. Sam Presti doing football yet? I like that, Anthony. I like that, dude. That was good. That was good. By the way, yesterday they had 320,000 people there. You know what the population for the city of Pittsburgh is? 307 or 310. The metro area has 2.4 million. But the city of Pittsburgh, it's only 307, 310,000. It's small. So obviously a lot of tourists yesterday in Pittsburgh. That was good. And Vrabel addressing the media yesterday prior to the draft. Rossini shutting down her IG and X accounts. This is one crazy story, man. And she now looks really, really bad. I mean, she already was looking bad, but he basically threw her under the bus yesterday because he has to save his marriage. I mean, that retreat or whatever he's going to is so exclusive that the dates aren't flexible that it's taking up the third day of the draft. So crazy. What an insane story. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a donation and send in your questions, comments, insults. Rusty Rags, thank you for the love on Venmo. Very nice. Appreciate the generosity. The Proctor pick is getting kicked in the nuts by a horse and then getting back home to find your wife in bed with the neighbor. That's how much pain I was watching the pick. Yeah, that's a lot of pain, bro. You get kicked in the nuts by a horse, and then you get home and Mike Vrabel's banging your wife. Another horse is banging your wife. Oh, man. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Send in your questions, comments, and insults. We appreciate it immensely. By the way, speaking of the markets, we are right now, Bitcoin is at 77,992. So it continues to flirt right around 78. Now, that's kind of where it's been stuck. As for the markets today, the Dow is actually down 82 points, which is really, considering all the craziness, the markets have been way better than I ever expected. I got to tell you, way better. I think people are understanding that they can't have money. They got to get rid of their money and put it into some kind of investment that has a better chance of growing because your money's dying. So maybe that's the game people are playing. The Dow is down 61 points. The S&P is up 53, and the NASDAQ is up 1.5 points right now. Metaplanet, by the way, they issued $8 billion in bonds to buy more Bitcoin. Just in case, for those of you, that were worried about it. And breaking news, the U.S. Department of Justice has dropped its criminal probe against Fed Chair Powell. That's the only way that Trumper is going to get his guy Wersch approved. Even Republicans are saying, drop the stupid lawsuit because you got nothing. Like most of the lawsuits that they have, nothing. Always clown-ass lawsuits that get thrown out anyways. Let's see. Albert Breer reporting that Rams GM Les Snead and UT Martin coach Jason Simpson had a very strong relationship to the point where Snead helped advise the family when Jason's son Ty was making a decision on whether or not to declare for the draft. Yeah.
Did you hear the story?
Huh?
Did you hear the story about Les?
No.
Les Snead is the one that basically told them he's a first-round pick. That's why he went and got in the draft, because Les Snead told the family that he was unmistakably a first-round pick. No, I'm just saying. But then he went and he made him the first-round pick, which you thought was the team that he would be best to go to
at the end of the first.
But they went up.
Again, when you're the Rams and you're Seattle and you're exceptional at drafting, and you know you're going to pick players up in the second and the third day, you don't care. You just don't care. You'll have more confidence in what you're doing. I'm a Ty Simpson guy. Now, I would have never taken him this early. Okay, I wasn't with Dan Orlovsky on this, but I do like Ty Simpson. And I said, because he's green, because he hasn't played a lot of games, I would have taken him in the late first or early second. Preferably put him on a good team where he can sit for a year or two and learn. If you throw him to the Wolves like Arizona would have, he's dead in the water probably. It's just so hard to do that. But where he's going, I give him a chance now. Now he's got a chance to mature and grow and learn. You watch Ty Simpson play, dude, and that's the NFL skill set is there. It's just he doesn't have enough experience in reading defenses and reacting and adjusting and all that kind of stuff. And that's something that he needs some time to grow into. And with Matt Stafford there, my God, that's going to be a blessing. The only thing is, I hope the kid doesn't get too cute and think that he can make some of the throws that Matt Stafford makes. Okay, because Matt Stafford does some shit that a lot of quarterbacks cannot do. Some of those off-balance throws and off-angle throws and all. He's kind of a special thrower. Not a lot of people have that. Simpson has a terrific arm, don't get me wrong, but it's the angles that this guy can change. Then not everybody does that, So that's the only thing. It is. Hey, Winslow, I talk about whatever the fuck I want. Get rid of this clown, Michael G. Winslow. It says Just Talk Sports. It's called the Big O Radio Show. I talk about whatever the hell I want. You don't like it? Get the hell out. Here, we're kicking you out. Just so you'll know, I don't need your ass, dude. This is my show. I've been at this for 36 years. Your ass, no program director, no sales director, nobody tells me what to do. So, Michael Winslow, go yourself. Okay? This is my show, not your show, clown. Okay? Got that? So, if you want to do stupid things, we'll ban your ass right out of here. Don't care. What else do we have here? Chris Greer was still in the room. Maybe. See, the risk is Proctor ready to be your right tackle right away? You're assuming that, Dolphin Dave, that move Austin Jackson to right guard and put Proctor out to right tackle. That's a big responsibility to kick out this young man right away like that. And you've got a young quarterback. Don't you want experience protecting the edges for the kid? I think you need Proctor to kind of build up and prove himself first. But Austin Jackson is already a made right tackle. The guy can play. There is no question. Austin Jackson can play at a high level at right tackle. You and I know that the only knock on Austin Jackson has been injuries. That's it. Nothing else. So I would never do that. Proctor's a rookie, dude. I can't put him out there, and I have a young quarterback. I can't do that. I got to start him off at guard. I got to see how he handles everything. Then I got to play him in an NFL game and see if he can handle that responsibility, and then I can start to experiment. But I would not move Austin Jackson right away, not when he's established already at right tackle and super comfortable. And it's taken a while to get there. I wouldn't want to do that to Austin Jackson at this point. Okay. So, Big O for Jerry Springer Part 2. And he's out. You know it, Lenny. You know it. Brian says, I was waiting for that. Lenny says, Proctor played on the left side of the line in college. I think left guard would be his best bet for us. Move Jonah to right guard, which, by the way, Jonah's naturally a right one. That makes more sense. What Dolphin Dave was saying makes no sense. That makes all the sense in the world. Proctor at left guard, next to Paul, and in between Aaron Brewer. That's fantastic. So now I've got that, and I can take care of him between those two guys. And habitually, he's used to left side work. That's where your point is absolutely exceptional, and it's intelligent. Moving him to the right, when he's not a right guy, he's a left guy, and then you're going to put him at right tackle right away and move Austin to right guard. Now, all of a sudden, you've got two players that are uncomfortable at where they belong. Whereas Savania was always a right guy, a right side guy, and you forced him over to the left. So now you can move him back to his natural, habitual way of right. And you are correct, sir. Proctor is naturally left. He's a left tackle. You're not going to move Patrick Paul, so you put him at left guard. If he's going to play guard, he'll play left guard, and Savania will move to right because Savania never established himself. So if you give Savania the right side where he's used to it and he's habitually used to doing all that, he had to completely learn how to do it on the left. All of a sudden now you've got a better chance of Savania succeeding next to Austin Jackson, and you've got a better chance of Proctor succeeding initially at left guard. That makes sense, my friend. All of those things make sense. Okay? Nice job by you, sir. That's probably what will happen at the beginning with Caden Proctor. Put him at left guard and then move Savania over to his natural right guard position. That's what would make sense. El Reezy 941. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, if Sully goes and gets Jermon McCoy, and he and Johnson can potentially be Sertan Madison 2.0, just wishful thinking, fins up. Let's hope so, man. Let's just I don't know about Jermon McCoy now after the whole injury thing. I kind of don't want to take a chance on the kid, but again, we are in a different round now, in a different point of the draft. So the gambles are a little different. I do love the player. I will say, I do like the player. I got to admit, I do like him. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Big O, what do you want the first pick to be tonight? I don't know. It's at 43. Right now, you could go corner, you could go receiver, you could go lineman here. There's a lot of things that you can go. I don't know. When we're getting closer to 43rd, follow me on Twitter, and I'll put up a guy or two that I like. I will say this. My boy, what is it? Avion. What's his freaking name? Avion. Son of a bitch. Avion Terrell. He wasn't taken yet, right? So I don't think, and his brother's in the NFL. Avion Terrell wasn't taken. That would be a corner that I like in this part of the draft here. So I'm pretty sure Terrell wasn't taken, but I don't know if they're going to take another corner right away since they took Chris Johnson. We'll see. But I do like Avion Terrell. That is one corner I do like. He'll probably be gone by 43, I would imagine. Give me Jennings Dunker and his mullet at 43, says Rusty Rags. What else, Big O? I'm excited to see this O-line develop and CB turn out to be a good one. Only time will tell. Amen. 6193. Amen. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. Big O, I'm your age. O.J. McDuffie was not received well by the fans as a first-round pick. He even said, yes, That's actually, you know what, Oscar? Now that I think about it, I remember that OJ wasn't considered a fast player, and the knock I remember was the lack of speed, and then he made him a punt returner, and he actually was a good punt returner because OJ was an exceptional football player. That's the thing that's the part that everybody left out. But let me tell you something. That might be the closest thing to what I asked for is OJ McDuffie. That's a good one, Oscar, because I do remember that people did complain that he was too slow. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. And then people just respected the shit out of him after watching him over. Now, he was a late first rounder, if I remember correctly. He wasn't like an early first rounder, but I remember the speed was the main problem that they talked about with OJ, that he didn't have top end speed, which that was a thing with OJ. He was never a blazer, but he had great movement. His hands were like vice grips. He ran precise routes. He was the toughest wide receiver you could ever line up. He could block. He was just a great football player. That's the part that people lost sight in with OJ McDuffie, and I believe that's probably what Shula fell in love with, that he saw a great football. Like Jim Jensen was a football player. Even though he was a quarterback and he wasn't ever going to be a good quarterback, he was like a backup quarterback, but he was also a hell of an athlete. So, and he was a great football player and toughness and all of that. And so all that kind of stuff stood out to Shula in that sense, and that's why he was able to use him in other ways. And to Shula's credit, sometimes he needed a football player, and guess what? Every team needs them. Those guys that are like Mac Hollins, receiver, special teams, whatever, bro. He's just a good football player. He's not going to be the best receiver, the best tight end, the best linebacker, the best, whatever, the most elite athlete and all of that. But where he's going to be elite is as a football player. That's the shit you can't replace. And that gives you an edge over the average player out there. And that's what OJ had. But you are correct. That's the closest thing to being maligned and turned out to be very good. OJ McDuffie. You nailed it, actually, Oscar. So think about that. Out of all these decades, you can come up with one guy. I'll give you OJ McDuffie. That's a good one. That's a good one. Because I remember specifically the speed was a real knock on OJ. Damn, he's not that fast. And you took that guy in the first round, and then people fell in love because they found out that you needed a first down, and that son of a bitch was going to get a first down every single time, dude. Every single time, and he was going to hang on to the ball, and he was never going to fail you, because OJ McDuffie does not know the word fail. So, yeah. That's a good one, Oscar. So one time, we can't even do it with our hands. We can't come up with 3 people. That's some scary shit. So, what else do we have? McCoy is a great player, but he's a walking infirmary, as they say. If you come limping into the NFL, you end up limping out of the NFL. I'm good. Malachi Fields would be a nice pick at wide receiver. Oscar says, thank you, Big Old, for acknowledging it. Yes, I am Big Old. It's very good. I like that. Big Old. That fits me to a T. OJ was the 25th pick. Yeah, see, he was a late pick. Yeah, I remember. The pick of Proctor will ultimately get Sullivan fired, and he'll deserve. Well, that's wow. My man's got him fired already. I hope he doesn't get fired, bro. I hope Proctor is a badass, and I hope we look like idiots. That's what I need. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hoping I look like an absolute idiot, and Proctor is a beast. Because for me, I'm kind of tired of the Dolphins sucking. I don't need any more of that. You know what I'm saying? Don't need it. Don't need it. Oh man. Anyway, let me do a little music here on the lighter side. It's not sports, right? Because that guy wanted me to stick to sports. All righty. Let's start off with musicians born on this date of April 24th. I'm sure you're all wondering. We start off with the fantastic Kelly Clarkson, singer who came to prominence after winning the first season of American Idol. Scored the 2002 U.S. #1 single, A Moment Like This. She left her show now. She'll probably start doing some touring. Brian Marshall, bassist from Creed, born in 1974. Aaron Comis, drummer with the Spin Doctors, born in 1968. Patty Schemmel, from the band Hole, born in 67. Shannon Larkin, drummer with Ugly Kid Joe. Oh, I was deciding between a Godsmack and a Dream Theater shirt today, and I wore the Dream Theater because I looked and I go, hey, did I wear the Godsmack? No, I wore the Dream Theater. Anyway, Shannon Larkin, drummer with Ugly Kid Joe and Godsmack, born in 67. Paul Ryder, bassist with the Happy Mondays, born in 64. Billy Gould, bassist with Faith No More, born in 63. Paula Yates, she was a presenter on UK music TV show The Tube. Yates is also the ex-wife of Sir Bob Geldof and the girlfriend of INXS singer Michael Hutchins. Yates died on September 17th of 2000. Boris Williams, drummer with The Cure, born in 1958. David J. from the post-punk band Bauhaus, born in 57. Captain Sensible, Ray Burns, awesome, from The Damned, guitarist. Jack Blades, he was born in 54, by the way. Jack Blades, also born in 54, I'm about to sneeze, bassist, singer for Night Ranger and the Damn Yankees. Let's see, Nigel Harrison, another bass player with Blondie, born in 51. Ann Kelly. Yeah, well, I'd like to know if you, what is it? Rock the ocean, rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby, rock the boat. From Hughes Corporation, Ann Kelly. Hubert Ann Kelly, born in 47. Doug Clifford, drummer with Creedence Clearwater Revival. I'm tongue-tied right now. 45. Richard Sturbin, vocalist from the country band The Oak Ridge Boys. Giddy up, ba-doom, ba-ba-mama, oh, Silva. Wait. Barbara Streisand, Babs, born in 1942 on this date. Pretty good list so far, man. All right, we move over to famous people born on this day. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away. Actress Shirley MacLaine, born in 34. She's still with us. She's 92. Actress Jill Ireland, born in 36. Former Chicago Mayor Richard M. Daley, born in 42. He is 84. Fashion designer Jean-Paul Gaultier, born in 52. He's 74. Actor Michael O'Keefe, born in 55. He's 71. Actor Cedric the Entertainer, born in 64. He's 62. Actor Rory McCann, born in 69. He's 57. Musician Brian Marshall from Creed and Alter Bridge, born in 73. He's 53. Actor Eric Balford, born in 77. He's 49. Tyson Ritter, musician with All American Rejects, born in 84. He's 42. Actor Jack Quaid, born in 92, he's 34. Musician Kalani Parrish, born in 95, 31. I have no idea who that is. Tennis star Ashley Barty, born in 96, she's 30. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. The original Blue Demon was born on this date in 1922. Yuji Nagata turns 58. Gabe Kidd turns 29. And the great Lou Thez was born on this date in 1916. That date, April 24th, 2000. 26.
Big O, who lasted around longer, Spin Doctors or Scaramucci? Oh, Scaramucci did not last very long. Spin Doctors lasted a little longer than Scaramucci. He actually does a good job now. He's got a podcast with this blonde lady, and they do a really good job. She's an English lady. I forgot her name. She's really good. She's smart. But yeah, he's a Bitcoin guy too. So I like Mooch. Let's see what else. Big O, just talk markets and finance only, dude. Big O, just talk music history. Now you guys are having fun at that guy's expense. I love it. Norris says most of the mainstream media and content creators sucking up to Sullivan with Proctor pick. Only Big O, Omar, and Poop are being realistic and questioning the pick. I mean, you got to, man. You got to. I mean, you have to question it. I hate to say it. Look, I said it yesterday. And you can watch the show from last night. And I'll paraphrase what I said last night. But Ruben Bain came and restarted the UM program, reestablished it. A leader on the field, off the field, in the locker room, in the media, a badass player in big moments. This is what you need to rebuild the Dolphins franchise. It's players like this. These are pillars that you rebuild your organization with. And zero character issues. There's no weight issues. There's no motivational issues. None of that with Bain. I just kind of want to take the guy that I know is a sure thing. That's the way I look at Ruben Bain. And I got to tell you, the way I look at Vega, sure thing at guard. I understand the position flexibility and all that bullshit. I'm good with that. I get it, man. It's really valuable. But sometimes the safer pick is the better pick. The riskier pick, you're hoping that Deion Jordan figures this shit out because athletically he's so gifted. You're hoping that Charles Harris can figure it out because he's so gifted. You're hoping that Chop Robinson can figure it out because he's so gifted. And I've watched those players that are so athletically gifted and they've never reached their potential. And I understand that some of them do end up reaching their potential. And you did great in tapping into it and motivating it and molding it and creating it. But that's the risk that you take. Because if you don't, then Daryl Gardner never gets motivated. And he never gets over the hump. And you'll have the same problems that you'll have. Or if Eddie Blake, Earthquake Blake, is not either smart enough or motivated enough, you won't be able to get it. Or if Andrew Green is not good enough, he's just not going to be good enough. You know, this is kind of the way it goes. And this has been the history of this franchise, taking players that you take a chance on because Cam Smith is so talented, but he's got maturity issues. Vontae Davis, very talented, but has maturity issues. And guess what? Most of the time, those maturity issues, those conditioning issues, all those things end up staying there. Very few times you actually shed all those bad habits and you become a new person. So that's why this pick has to be questioned, especially when you had a guy like Vega who has zero questions and is considered by everybody like a can't-miss guard. But this whole thing about, well, he's just a guard. Damn, so was Rob Hunt. Just a guard. And we didn't want to pay him. And I was one of those idiots. I learned my lesson. That was dumb on my part that, $20 million for a guard. Well, guess what? That's the going rate now. He was just starting the going rate. Silly of us to think that. There's nothing wrong with just being a great guard, dude. You need two of them. And by the way, when you have a short quarterback, nothing better than a stout guard, a stout center and stout guards. Create that pocket, baby. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful when you can do that. Smash the hell out of the like button, folks. We will be back tonight. We're going to be live right after the second round, and then we'll be live again after the third round. So we'll have two shows for you. On Saturday, only one show. I'm not doing a show after the fourth, after the fifth, after the sixth, and the seventh. No, I'm not doing that shit. I got a life. I'm good. So we'll do it after the seventh round. We will recap everything on Saturday, so you can come back to us if you want. Tonight we'll be on twice. So we'll recap the second and we'll recap the third, since in the second they have the 43rd pick. And who knows, they might trade down from that. And in the third, they have 3 picks at 75, 87, and 94. In the fourth round, they have the 138. In the fifth round, they have 151, 177, and 180. And in the seventh round, they have 227. No 6-rounder right now for the Miami Dolphins. That's the only round that they're missing. Something tells me one of those 5th-rounders that they picked up could turn into a couple of 6-rounders or something down the line. We shall see. And Ricardo, I'm with you. The picks just don't make sense. I don't have so much of a problem with the Chris Johnson kid. That one I don't have that much of a problem with, to be quite honest. I'm all right with that one. But it's the first one where I have to kind of question. Thank you, Ricardo. Yes, we don't sugarcoat. We don't sugarcoat. No, sir. Ryan Tannehill bought a house in Jupiter, Florida, and my dad is taking care of their pool. Nice. He's good people, man. He's a good kid. Wasn't a great quarterback or a good quarterback, but he was a good kid, man. He's not a bad person. Let's see what else. Jamie Zorriat in San Jose. 3 shows for day 2. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. No, 2 shows for day 2. 1 show on Saturday. Oh, that's right. Yes, you are correct. Yeah. Today and yes, we are doing 3 shows. Yeah, that's right. But what I'm not doing anymore, like people have asked me that I would do a whole draft show. I'm not doing that. I'm going to save my voice. I'm going to save my effort. I'm going to save my work until the Dolphins start winning playoff games for a couple of consecutive years. They win play. Then I will start my heavy coverage again. But I will never cover them heavy again until they do that again. I just can't, man. I just can't. And look, I would have done all that work, and you picked Caden Proctor. No. I can't do it anymore, man. It sucks. They have sucked life out of me and love for it, They have. So, Big O, I've been busy at work, so I haven't been able to be a corporate time-stealing weasel. We appreciate you anyways, my brother. Whenever you listen, thank you. Jamie, you're awesome. You've been with us for many, many years and always there, man, so thank you. Oronde Gadsden has gained a lot of weight. Saw him yesterday. Frankie, we all get old, my brother. We all get old. Oronde, by the way, is working with our Fort Lauderdale United. You know that, right? You didn't know that? Oronde Gadsden and Sam Madison, Oronde Gadsden and Pat Surtain are in charge of the Fort Lauderdale United's flag football team. So, yeah. Yeah, because they've got basketball, volleyball, soccer, the academy. Now they're adding flag football. It's an Olympic sport. all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to it, man. Yeah. They have expanded a lot, and they've got a lot of things going on at Fort Lauderdale United. It's really cool. And on the soccer side, they're the only ones that are actually doing it right from top to bottom, from the academy all the way through to the pros. And the USL has added promotion relegation to their leagues. I think that's actually fantastic. That's pretty cool. That is a good way of presenting the sport the way it normally is all around the country. So we thank the great Larry Schlossberg, always getting it done. We thank, of course, Sean Stanley, always a stud. We thank David Furones. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you if you sent in a super chat, if you made a donation. Thank you. You can make a donation anytime. We appreciate it. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. We shall see you tomorrow. Well, we'll see you tonight after the second round and then after the third round. So we'll do 2 shows tonight, short shows. They won't be long. And then tomorrow we'll be on after the 7th round is done. We'll do a whole recap of the third day, and then we'll be back on Monday to go over our overall opinion of the draft as John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley start off their new era of Dolphin football. Appreciate all of you out there. Thanks to Larry, as always. Thanks to Mr. Zinn for making it happen, as always. We shall see you tonight. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.